Hey, true believers, this is Peter Palmiotti of Human Art Studio, and welcome to my day 63 of my 100 days of working on my anthology story. And, um, got my camera in a weird spot. Welcome. Hey, um, hope you're doing fine this evening. As predicted, it's been nuts. Um, just raining severely and it's crazy, crazy. Hey, Ronie. Hey, Karyn. Welcome, welcome. And of course, everybody's welcome to come in, hang out if they wish. If they're part of the THEE100s Anthology group, of course, you're welcome to come in. I posted the hangout link over there in the Facebook group. So yeah, let's recap a little. I realize my camera's backwards, but I was trying to think of like Bernie Wrightson and Mark Silvestri, like their inspirations for their work, and of course Frank Frazetta is one of Mark Silvestri's inspirations. There was Frank, there was Alan Williamson, whole gang back then. But it was Bernie Wrightson that was inspired stylistically by Howard Pyle, and that's really the name I was trying to think of. Howard Pyle, 18th century, 17th century artist, very intricate line, detailed style, and that will be what I'm going to be attempting for my little story. And I did a little research. Here's some doodles, but just on some African tribe where like this was like a sort of a sundress by in like a modern sundress, but I figured I might be able to get away with that into my comic. Hey, it's my comic. I could do whatever I want. But I was trying to look up things that catered to my likes. So that was one of them. I mean, my mom growing up always wore sundresses. I love sundresses, whatever. Then there was like headbands, and that's simple, straightforward. Then there was a lot of like neck beads and made out of beads, made out of cloth. Here's something a little more elaborate, and I could do some of that. Once again, like there's not going to be a lot of people in it, but for the people that do show up, I want them to, mix it up a little, wear kind of different stuff. I did find a couple of fellas who had painted tattoos all over their body. One guy had some what looked like stars or splotches on his chest, and he had like all these white bands around his arm. And if I do it accurately, it should really be graphically pleasing. So that's did some research and came up with that. So we're going to do a bit of that. How is everybody tonight? How's your stories going for the THEE100s? Oh, cool. Karyn's working on her anthology piece. She might join in after her son goes to bed. Cool. So yeah, so I've been doubling up my hangouts. Sort of fell a little bit behind, and all my videos previously were edited videos, and editing just takes way too long. I don't mind it if I'm on track, but I'm currently behind. So today's Saturday, so today is technically 68, and I'm on 63. This will probably be it for the evening, but I might just double up each day until I'm caught up. And we'll see how that works. At least, by day 75, I'll be square. We shall see. But yeah, so starting tomorrow, the pages in front of me, perhaps. Yeah. So starting tomorrow, that's page 4, page 3, page 2, page 1. So I'm all set to go. I'm going to start maybe just tweaking the pencils a little bit and start inking. So I'm really excited about that. Probably won't set up a hangout until tomorrow. I'm not sure if morning will be good, but probably early afternoon. But yeah, so excited about that. Guess what I wanted to do is just a little more dabbling. Let me get a good shot of. Okay, so this is one of my Griffin sketches. Find another one. La la la. Da-da. I kind of like that one. And that will do for the moment. Yeah, so I just wanted to sort of like, there's two main griffins, although mostly we see the main one, and he's the griffin, and where's I said I was going to clean today, but didn't do too much of that. So I was just doodling before, and essentially one of the points, so this is just for my own memory's sake. Going to have okay, so my griffin this is just a basic shape. So this is sort of a front view. So yeah, so mine's gonna have sort of just two distinctive feathers coming out of the back of his head, and the beak is going to be black. So this would just be a guide for me to go by as I work on the pages. Things to keep in mind. Hey, this is what makes him uniquely him. Yeah, since it's black and white, there's going to be a lot of a lot of gray going on. More than likely. But I'll make it so yeah, so you can see his lip, and that's kind of just a quick side view. And I think, like, it's very furry around the neck kind of look. I think that will look good for his mom. So that will be distinction between him and his mom. So and maybe she also won't have sort of ear feathers. Maybe that's something he got from his dad. We'll never know. Who's hissing? No hissing on my show. One of my cats hissing at the other. Surprise! There's a cat in my face. Dun, 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 dun. So Ronie says, "Feel great after joining THEE100s." And Karyn says, "Cool, Peter." Yeah. So I think I'll just make her beak normal. I mean, it'll probably be a lot of texture, but it won't be as black as his. I was also thinking almost as if she has like eye makeup. Maybe make it black around her eyes. You know, having kids is hard. It gives you black eyes. So that might be fun to play with. I forget. She's definitely in one panel. I forget if she shows up more, but I should know. It's my story, but I'm overworked and underpaid at the moment. Bum, 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 bum. But yeah, so that would be Mom. And she'll have reminds me of Vulture, Spider-Man's villain. But I just want it would be obvious, like this griffin is definitely way different than the main griffin. And what other features? I mentioned before that my griffin from front to back it's half eagle and half lion. And I think I'm going to go with this style sort of wing. And the only thing that really makes, I guess it's similar to some others. I really have to get the architect of how a wing bends and whatnot. So, but just roughly from memory, it's like, say that's like the back muscles, and then you sort of have where it's connected, then where it's able to bend, and then the rest is feathers. So it's almost like forearm. What's the parts of the arm? Oh, I'm so bad. And I'm not really sure. Go not. Yeah, almost break it up like in 3 pieces. Yeah, I'll have to look for much better reference. To draw a wing in an illustration is easy, but to actually draw it over and over and over and make some kind of consistency out of it. Hey, it's the challenge. All right, so then it just be rows and rows of feathers. But the distinctive thing is that sort of like the smaller feathers curl over what is essentially his arm, bone, what have you, wing bone. Yeah, I'll have to figure out. I might just have to fudge it in the end, but I just wanted to make it look pretty first. But I'll try for authenticness. And all right. So yeah, I think that that establishes that. So, I'm doing these kind of forearms and front feet. So it'll be talons. And I've only seen that in one painting or illustration, but I really like the look of it. Yeah, so, and I have to definitely get this right. It's sort of like 3 front fingers. I have to figure out exactly how each turns, but then there's like almost like the palm and another claw comes out back there. Talon. So these are like fingers. And then the talons stick out of that. And I don't want to make the talons too big. I kind of want them to be able to use them like hands, I guess. So it's almost like doing drawing Spider-Man, except these are what will be his sort of skin and ribbons. Not sure what the technical term of any of this is, but I'm pretty sure it exists somewhere in the animal kingdom. But it almost reminds me of like he'll be wearing gloves. So that should be interesting. And I could play it up if it's close up, and I could just, do a little detail if it's farther away. So like this, he could have some fur feathers coming down, but not as excessively as his mother. It's almost like she's wearing a fur coat around her neck. So that will be for, I'll call him Junior. And what else we got? The tail. The tail will just be a typical lion's tail, maybe slightly thicker. And they all pretty much look the same. It's a thin tail, there's fur on it, but it's all very close and tight, and then a little puff of fur at the tip of it comes out. Maybe I'll make it a little longer. So I got that. It's my idea from yesterday to do a griffin tattoo for a tribe member. Which I'm definitely going to do that. Incorporate that somewhere. I know I'm speeding past. What else we get? Oh, this is also from the other day. Just trying to think of what characters might be wearing. Actually, as I was looking under African tribes, a lot of them do like have this kind of. And some is like Clydesdale, like the horses, the fur at their legs below the knee. They wear it as a dancing dress because it shakes when they shake and stuff. So it's actually kind of cool. So I'll definitely be doing some of that. What else would I want to keep in mind on my pages? Perhaps I should look at them. There's going to be rock and mist and fire, mountains, maybe settle moss. I don't know. Yeah, it's like these are people you don't really see too much of them. But there's mom. So that would be mom. There's baby. Baby. So yeah, so I think I'll just sketch at this point. I did make up a topic for this episode. Hard work pays off. So let me put some work into this episode. Karyn says, I feel your pain, Peter. I have a Google search of horse anatomy opened up permanently on my browser right now. And Ronie says, I understand trying to find the right look between human and animal-like features. Yes. Are you in the anthology, Ronie? Yes. There are a ton of us, and I can't keep track of everyone. Well, Ronie's part of. He's doing a comic, but unless I miss my guess, he's not in the anthology. There's me. Jan, I think, was the last one to join when somebody else dropped out. Mike Emirates is Marshall Lee. So many. So many. Yeah, Ronie says, I'm not. Ox, Samurai Ox, Jan. Yeah, I lose track. But most of the people, it's like a lot of the original sort of members of the group, I believe, will be in this anthology. So I'm really excited. So that's why I just want to get on track. And this is in my own head. It's like I could just jump ahead until day 68, but I don't know. I'm stuck on doing things a certain way. So even though I don't have a lot of human characters in my book, and since it's black and white, it's not as easy to portray black people. So I'm gonna try my best to make them look like they should look. And I don't want to go too caricature-y, because it's just, it's almost racist when you go too caricature-y. So, I ain't no racist. Yeah, my people have the tendency to all look the same. So, I definitely want to. So, I'm not talking, but I'm drawing. A lot of times I do these hangouts. I wish I had boom. Hey, you. Meow. I'm trying to draw here. Meow, meow. Yeah. It's my thumper cat. Oh yeah, I've been watching a lot of the bigger channel hangouts, and they got more features, and they got moderators. I'm not sure. I might be capable of having a moderator on my channel. Um, I haven't really looked into it, but it would be cool to have like somebody fill in the gaps of silence if I just suddenly go off and start not talking. Right, Thumper Thumper? You should be my moderator. You go, meow. When he meows, it sounds like he's complaining. Meow. Definitely when he wants to go out. It's like, why are you leaving me out? Cool. You guys subbed each other. Excellent. Everybody goes sub everybody. I'm all for that. And yeah, lots of people I know already know about Ronie. He's got a channel. He posts on YouTube. He posts on Instagram. Not as many people know about Karyn, so go subscribe to Karyn's channel. She does excellent work. I've watched a lot of her videos. More than not, the shorter ones. I've seen some you did, Karyn, at like 2 hours, and it's like, oh boy. But you do fantastic work. So, oh well, yeah. As far as the Anthology goes, there's Joshua Kimball, there's Curry Kerr, there's Scott Circlin, or 3 other people doing it. Is Abel Parsons in it, I believe. Previously known as Abe Sapien. Yeah, man, it finally freaking stopped raining here, and I have a long front lawn path thing in front of my house, and it's just like soaked in pools of water. It's crazy raining. I thought I wasn't going to be able to get online because my internet's pretty much it's weak and crappy. And the weather definitely affects it sometimes very seriously. It wasn't too long ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, that it got completely knocked out for 3 or 4 days. Right, kitty? Yeah. Meow. Yeah, so when I come back tomorrow and start inking, I'm going to have to lock my babies up. I'll kick them out. Kick them out of the house. Because I got to do what I got to do. I'm just paranoid when it comes to having cats around and doing ink work. It's not a good mix. No good mix. Um, hey.
Okay, so I think I joined. Can you hear me?
Yes, you did. I do.
Oh, okay. I'm not very good with these Google Hangouts yet, so
Oh, no worries. Welcome, welcome.
all right, I got to get rid of this because I don't want to hear myself twice.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake. Okay, get rid of the actual live stream, but then I can't see the chat.
Well, you can pause the video, which is what I do.
Oh, except now I have to skip this ad. No, I'll play this ad. So wait, are you monetized?
No.
All right, then I'm going to skip it. So what is this thing? All right. If you were
No,
monetized, I'd watch it.
I have to get a 1,000 subscribers. I was previously a partner with YouTube, but they changed the rules. So
Me too, because now you have to have like what 1,000 or 10,000? I can't remember.
it's 1,000. It's. I mean, that's reasonable.
Yeah, but it was kind of sad that like they took it away.
Yeah, but I mean, there's freaking a couple of billion videos on YouTube. It's insane.
It's true. It's true. That's true. So I've been like remiss on, I've been super busy and I've been remissing on catching up on everybody's projects. So you're working on a Griffin story? Have you already hashed this out a million times on your channel, or do you want to explain it to me?
Oh, I can explain it to you.
Okay, so what are you doing?
I am doing. It's like originally I came up with another story idea when it was first explained to us. Um, you know, I thought like a bunch of other people that it has to be either a werewolf or a unicorn story.
Yes.
um, and yeah, so I had a different story idea, and when it was explained, I was like, okay, I could do anything. So what could I do? Um, well, on my channel, at the request of somebody, I drew a griffin, and I was like, well, griffin is a mythical creature. I'll do a griffin story. Um, so I just came up with a general idea of a couple of things and hashed it into a story, which
Okay.
was like my original three ideas was you know um, that the griffin would be the protector of this little tribe. Like if you look it up in the dictionary, griffin protects treasure. So I was like,
Hmm.
well, it protects the tribe, and that's the tribe is the griffin's treasure.
Okay, that makes sense.
um, the other idea was that this would be the last griffin. Like the griffin finds out in the sort of story that it's the last one. Um, and then the last thought was that he thinks back on his childhood and remembers his mother.
Mm.
Um, because I wanted to do something potentially. Well, first of all, that it's challenging, um, but potentially that it would be moving in some way to the reader.
Oh,
Whether I could pull that off, we'll see. But it's like that's what I went with, and I got the story mapped out. It's like 98% done. I'm just like probably just want to do one last pass on the script. But yeah, the pages are penciled roughly, and I'm going to just go in and tighten the pencils up and start inks
well,
tomorrow.
you're way farther along than I am then, because I am actually changing my story in midstream.
Oh,
So, and I don't have any of it thumbed in or anything because I'm still doing the first page like I have it, but I realized that mine was a little bit too similar to somebody else's, even though we had, all kind of like laid out our story idea. So I'm tweaking it so they're not as close. Um, so I ran it by Mike, and he said, it doesn't sound too similar. You could like leave it, but I was like, I think I'll change it. So now I'm like trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do with it. I mean, it's still going to be basically like the same idea, but a totally different method. I don't know. I don't want to like explain it because I don't want to say who's it's too similar to and yada, 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 but you know what I'm saying. So I'm like, I just have the first page and I'm working on that. And after that, all bets are off. so, so I'm a disaster. It's not good. Yeah, let's shrink this down. Now, why can't I hear anything? Am I off? I'm on. I can't hear Peter. I'm sad. What did I do wrong? No, I'm back here. I just can't hear Peter for some reason. Let me put this other one on. Oh, now I can hear me. So I'm coming through. I don't know what's wrong. I'm just not good at these video calls. Oh, Peter's gone? Oh, no. But I'm in his Hangout. He's... Come back, Peter. Now I can see him in the Hangout, like actually working. So, and doing stuff. I just can't see him on his channel. Like, all right. No, sad face. Can't hear you, Peter. Maybe one of the kitties stepped on his buttons. Oh, now
Hello?
I can hear you. I can hear you now.
Oh,
Ronie,
okay.
can you hear Peter?
I guess.
Did one of the kitties knock something over?
God knows. All right, we're all back.
Yeah, I can hear you good now. So
Oh, okay.
let's hope Ronie can. Yay, Ronie can hear you.
Oh, okay.
So we're good. So what were you saying with all that? We missed you.
Oh, I lost track. I was thinking of Ronnie mentioned Scotto Green. Scotto Green's in it. This artist Robert Johnson's in. Yeah, I get my video on. Okay. Yeah, this is the whole group of people. I don't know what I was talking about now.
Well, you told me about your concept, and then I told you
Yeah.
that I had to start. I'm changing mine, and I'm way behind now because it was too similar to somebody else's,
All right.
and I'm silly for doing that, but that's okay. But I just,
Wait, are you starting from scratch?
no, I'm keeping the basic framework. I'm just changing how things play out, and I'm keeping the first page. I'm working still on the first page right now. I'm working on the fourth panel. I'd show it to you, but I don't know how to share my screen. I just know it just says to share my webcam, and I'm digital, so.
Well, okay. Not that bad. Okay, in the Hangout window, if you move your cursor to the left, there's a couple of things that pop up.
Okay.
There's a one green rectangle with an arrow in it.
I see that.
That's screen share. So you should be able to
Look at that.
share your screen.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Ready?
I am screen sharing. Does it show up?
There you go. Yep. Pretty.
I'm like sick of the drawing leaves already, I'll tell you that. So so
You
so
don't have
that's
to draw everyone.
I know, but I'm
Uh,
silly. I'm silly. I don't know. You know, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I over detail everything.
I
So
know, but it's great. I love it.
you know how crazy I am. Making whole mock-ups for spaceships so I can use it for like one page, right?
Yeah.
Remember?
Yep.
It's a problem. So so I'm glad you're doing something this time around because I remember for the last anthology, you got so busy and life was so crazy you had to pull out. That sucked.
Yeah. 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 It's like that's when I broke up with my fiance, and
Mm.
I was gonna do a pinup, and then it was just like everything is not in my control. Um, so it is what it is. I missed it, but this time around, I'm in.
Yeah, and you're
Uh,
not just doing a pinup, you're like doing a story and everything.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, nobody's doing pinups. Everybody's doing a story, contributing a story.
Is that right? God, why am I so out of the loop? What is wrong with me? You know?
I don't know.
I don't know
Yeah,
either.
everybody involved, and supposedly it's 31 people. Everybody's doing a 4-page story.
Wow.
Um, and Scott Serquin is doing the cover.
Oh, Scott's doing the cover.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
cool. Okay.
And
I didn't know that
it,
either.
he's going to um, try to emulate what Kevin Cross did for the first cover, but make it, for this book.
Okay. So like
So
a similar large pinup-y portrait of a zombie or something? Or no, not zombie, werewolves or he does zombies, right? He does all the zombies.
yeah, well, he does Young and the Dead.
That's right. I did back his first Kickstarter and
Yeah,
I don't know if I did it. Has he done his second one yet?
his second one is starting on Tuesday, actually. So that's coming out. Well, I mean that would be for issue 4. So it's 3 issues already out.
Well, I just got his digital one, so I'm not sure. Maybe I only got the first 2. Holy crap.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I missed the last Kickstarter of his. So I think he's gonna have an option to get whatever issues you want
All right.
or need.
I'm always so broke. It's hard for me to like back everybody and I just like,
Oh
want
yeah,
to. Starving artist, it's hard.
I already know like 18 people who already started their Kickstarters, and it's
Oh
like,
my
oh,
gosh.
it's like I gotta stop. And it's like I got enough. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm also like so behind on everybody's stuff this year. Like, so how I know last time I checked in on you, you had like a million different you were working on a commercial project and you also were like working on like your own has studio stuff. So what are you currently working on?
Well, I mean, it's like it's a difficult thing. It's like I'm trying to finance my has stuff,
Mhm.
and I've taken on client work, and a lot of it was supposed to start last month, and by this point, I would have been, golden. But so it's like I'm like in the waiting game, and everybody's telling me it's still all a go. It's just delayed and whatever. Because I'm supposed to be doing inks on a graphic novel. Um,
Wow.
I'm supposed to be writing a book series. It's like I'm talking like real money, and meanwhile I'm just keeping my head afloat at this point in time.
Right.
um, it's like I don't want to take on other work, although I might have to.
Mm.
So if it comes down to other client work, or if it comes down to me getting a day job for a while or a part-time job or something, I might have to do it. But yeah, it's like it all sounds great, but if it's not going to happen, then I got to do something else.
Right. Until it
So
happens. You can't wait indefinitely on them.
yeah, yeah. So I got a more than a dozen people who want to work with me with has, um, but I can't really start moving in that direction until a couple of things fall into place.
Mm, I
Um,
gotcha.
yeah, so it's like I want to start doing something on the side, but it's not going to be of consequence until I really have the funding to start propelling stuff forward. Um, I mean, speaking of Kickstarters, I was planning to start one next month, and I'm sort of on the fence, but I've like held back before, um, but it's like I'm not ready currently. So what I'm going to do is start putting the work in like each day, even if it's a little each day, to work towards having a Kickstarter. Because for me, it's about time. I haven't had one yet, and I do want to launch one of my books. That is, it's already 90% penciled. Um, I just got to do some inking work. It's like I don't want to put it on Kickstarter if it's not at least three-fourths done.
Yeah, because then it might be on like indefinite delays and then the backers might get upset and yeah.
Yeah, it's just I mean that's kind of what Kickstarter expects nowadays, and that's kind of what fans expect nowadays. So, um, so that's what I'm going to start doing. If the other stuff pans out, it pans out. If not, then I'll start looking into some other options. But regardless of if I'm able to do the Kickstarter soon or not, that's not going to really finance a lot by itself. Um, so we'll see. We'll see. I'll just start working on that project, and I was so just getting ready to move forward on all this other stuff, and it's like ah
Yeah, that's the crap life of a freelancer, right? You're always at the mercy of when the jobs come in and when you get paid and waiting on other people and
yeah.
yeah.
So it's like I do got some client work, and um, that's also something I'll be have to work on, and I'm probably just going to start uh, doing some just small artwork
Mhm.
pieces to see if I get trickles of people buying my artwork, um, just to see if that will maybe sustain me. Meanwhile,
Pay the groceries, pay the gas,
pay pay
pay
to
your internet.
pay for my cat food. Come on,
Seriously.
keep
Oh
my
my
cats
god.
alive.
Well, how many cats do you have right now, Peter?
I have 5 currently.
5?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Peter, you're like the crazy
and
cat guy. I should make you a
uh,
mug that says the crazy cat guy instead of the crazy cat
well, it's
lady.
like me and my ex are like we're still best of friends, and
Mhm.
is we sort of gained the sickness at the same time, and uh, she took it a step further, but we sort of um, go back and forth, um, like switch cats back and forth. Oh, like this one's going wild here; it doesn't get along with my other one, and
Okay.
we done a little of that. I think who she has now and who I have now, we're kind of set at the moment. Because I had some of the babies and they just didn't work here.
Oh, okay.
um, I love them all, um, but yeah. So I have 5, and they're all not young, and so they it works out better for me. Because Because really, it's like, um, when I do have some real money coming in, I want to rent a home.
Mhm.
Because I'm renting a small apartment. I mean, frankly, it's kind of considered a studio apartment. And I just got this to have something after we broke up.
Mhm.
Um, but with this many cats, it's like if I had to say how many cats would work best in this place, I would say one. Um,
Well, I have one cat, and he almost lost his life the other night because we had a house guest over, and he doesn't like anybody coming over at all, and so he got super upset that night when the house guest was sleeping in the living room and
uh,
was like, he would not eat without me. I had to, like, at 5 in the morning, I had to, like, he cried and cried and cried. I had to go out into the kitchen and sit there and pet him so he could eat.
aw.
And then so I can't even imagine having 5. I've had 3 at one time, but that's the most I've ever had.
Yeah.
Oh,
For the most part, they get along. My oldest one is just Cleopatra. She is a bit of she doesn't really get along with the others. I mean, when they're outside, I let them out a lot. Because I have a big front lawn here. And they run around, they play together. But inside, she's like more a loner, and she doesn't really want to be with anybody else. She wants to be with me.
yeah, that she didn't like the kittens being around bugging her.
Oh yeah, she hissed at the kittens.
Aw, kittens.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, kittens are great. They're a hell of a lot of fun. Um, it's like I have doorways, but I don't have doors. Except for the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
And to like put the cats somewhere else, I put up a screen door between what is essentially the living room and the bedroom. And when I had the kittens here, one of them, Angus climbed it like every half hour.
Oh my gosh.
He was just climbing the screen. It's like, this is nothing. It's like,
Did
hey, how
he
you
shred
doing?
it? Did he shred the screen door?
No, no, he just climbed it. He
Mhm.
just stuck his claws in, but he didn't shred it at all.
Wow.
Uh, but just like, it's like, oh, I can't keep you away. I can't keep you out of my face.
Kitty. That's funny.
Yeah, yeah,
So you
they're
have
a lot of
5 now. Yeah, that's a lot of cat food.
Yep, yeah, there's that too.
Uh-huh.
You
And,
know.
well, I suppose if they're going outside, you don't use as much litter as you would if they're all indoor cats, but still.
Yeah, I definitely don't. But like, I mean, if it's a horrible day, like today was horrible, um,
Yeah,
because
it's
it's
bad
like
here today. In the middle of
rain.
the country, it's rain, 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 rain. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's okay, and a couple of them are outside right now. I think I only have three. No, I only have two in at the moment. Everybody else went out. Um, and one of them here wants out, but I'm not going to get up.
Do they pester you at night to go out too all the time? Or my cat, I've never had an outdoor cat. I always keep them in, so I don't really know.
I mean, I wouldn't do it if I had the better facilities, but they do. They do. They're a pain in the ass. It's like, they want to come in, then 2 minutes later they want to go out. It's like, the worst thing in the world. It's like, I hate you. But
And you're renting, so you can't put a cat door in.
yeah, I can't. I'm not gonna set that up here. But hopefully in a couple months I'll be out of here and um, somewhere better and more suited. And if it comes down to it, like a lot of the houses for rent around here don't have fenced in backyards. I might have to like rent at a house and then put up a front fence myself.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's like, if I have to do that, I'll do it because I don't want them even scratching at my studio door. It's like, go out and play.
Yeah, so you're hoping to get out soon, huh? That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how things go. If I'm just surviving, then obviously it's going to be pushed back. But I've been wanting this for a long time, and it's like everything was going like last year around September. Everything was going really well
Mm-hmm.
and in the right direction for me career wise. Then I had so many problems with my computer and then laptops, then internet. Um, that really set me back a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, uh, right now I got new laptop, I got a new computer. It's not as powerful, but at least it works and allows me to do this.
Right.
Internet still sucks, which is another reason why I hope to move out of here and hopefully into a slightly better area. Um, but yeah, it's like little thing roadblocks really take a lot to recover from.
Yeah,
For
and you're like a solo. You don't have a partner that's helping with everything, so that's hard. That's
yeah,
hard.
yeah, it's definitely I definitely miss that. It's like I was living with her for about 5 years. Um,
Well,
and,
most people can barely do it with a double income household, and then to have to try to do it on your own as a single. I mean,
well, I just miss the workload, like sharing in the responsibilities.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like, damn it, cats aren't gonna do nothing.
They just sit around and look cute.
Yeah.
Aw. Alright, so now I think I'm caught up on you. I think yeah, because the last time I was checked in, you had started I think it was I had watched you suffer through that horrible bout of bad luck with all your equipment, and then
Yeah, yeah.
you were inking some project. You were inking, like, 2 projects at once last time I really checked in when I had time. It was, like, a has thing that you had gotten permission to do the art from that you owned, and then there was, like, a book or something for somebody else you were working on. That was the last.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, I took a break from working on like my projects are retro and blood rights I was working on
That's
previously.
right. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Which, I've got to get back to that stuff. The project I was doing for somebody else, um,
You had done several
if,
pages for that, hadn't you? Did that finish?
well, there was one project where I only inked a page. Hey, let me recall what the hell was it called now. Oh, Down. Was it Down?
Down?
DOWN.
I don't know if maybe. I don't know. Is there
I
another
was
one?
really excited about that project. It was an artist I wanted to work on. Um, and uh, yeah, this story behind that is like I only handed in one page of inks, and the penciler said, "Hey, I want to talk to you," and he's like, "Well, all you did is one page of inks," and I was like, "Okay." He's like, "Oh, I gotta let you go." I was like, "Okay." I didn't put up a fight. I forget why. It was like a lot of things going on at the same time, whatever. But months later, I saw the artist. I saw the writer post a cover into my Facebook group, which is the creator-owned group
Uh-huh.
for comic creators and whatnot. And and it was a different artist. So I messaged him and I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" He's like, "Yeah, the artist only penciled one page, and I had to let him go on off the book."
Oh my gosh. What the heck? Oh,
So he was bitching me out. Me, yes, I took a long time to do that well, get the one page done and to him.
mhm.
Um, But I know like one of the reasons I had a lot going on, but one of the reasons was that, I only saw one page of pencils, page penciled. Uh, Everything else I saw were like, he did 4 different covers variations. Um, and then he had all these celebrity people doing covers, and it was like, I'm not, I really didn't feel compelled to work on a book of covers.
Uh-huh.
So I sort of like didn't put as much energy into getting it done, and I was like, whatever.
Well, that's odd. I mean, it just seems like I don't know the details, but it seems like maybe you guys could have had a voice conference call or something and like sorted it all out instead of being but apparently he clearly had some issues too because like with the creator with the artist that did that because he let him go. So
Yeah.
I don't know. So now you don't want to work with that guy anymore, or would you? Or do you not want to
Um,
stay on the internet? I'm too nosy. You
um,
can tell me to shut up at any point.
I love the guy's work, uh, but unless it has to be a magical deal,
Mm.
because I mean, he didn't come through, and not what should have, he bitched about me not coming through, but in the end, you
Yeah,
know,
right.
it's like, yes, I make plenty of mistakes in my career. I make, I'm not always fast, but I turn in quality work, and at the end of the day, you know, um, you either want me or you don't. It's like I know where to fight, where I want to fight, and frankly, I mean, it's like my goal is to do my own book, so I won't
Mhm.
put up as much of a fight for client work, um, if my heart's not in it.
Mhm. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta remember how to do this. So I need to put a frame around this. Okay. Sorry, I'm talking out loud. I'm working
That
in Clip Studio and I sometimes I forget what I'm doing. Okay. I need to put the frame on so I know where the edge of the inks are.
Yeah, I'll check the chat while you're
All
talking
right.
about the frame.
The frame, yes. Magical digital frames. I don't know what I did with. Oh, there we go.
Well, there's a couple of people watching. Ronnie's still hanging out.
Ronie.
He's my biggest fan.
Aw. Well, I'm gonna go like stalk his YouTube later and figure out what he's up to. So
Yeah, he does. He's working on a comic book, but it's a part of an app. So you'll see. You'll see.
that's the future of the world, isn't it?
Well, that's one future. I believe in traditional comics, so I don't
Well,
think that's going.
true, but can't your traditional comics go into an app after you've done the art, as well as
Yeah.
having a book version?
Oh yeah, yeah.
See?
I guess I mean, it's like I'm thinking of myself as publisher, and there's very distinct things I want to do and distinct ways in which I want to get it done. So it's my mom always used to say I'm pig-headed. So
No, you're not pig-headed. You like what you like.
yeah,
You like what you like, and there are people that like what you like, so it's all good.
yeah,
I mean, I like paper books too, but dang it, I screwed that up. Um, and I self-published those coloring books on
right.
paper, so I love that stuff too. It's just I don't like to collect. I'm bad. See, I'm your bad customer because I want when you're your publisher, you got to make sure you have digital editions because I'm going to only buy the digital because after my husband's cat ruined, like we moved. I think I know I've told this story before, but I used to collect like weekly. I had a pull list in the '90s with my comics and into the early 2000s, and I collected like indies and manga and all this stuff. And we moved in together, and the cat peed all over all my long boxes and destroyed my entire collection.
Wow.
She peed on everything though. She was very stressed out. She peed on our bed. She got up on the table and peed in my purse one time because she was upset. And she also peed in the toilet. So it was not, and she used the litter box. So it was not about like just not being trained. It was purely like bad behavior.
Yeah.
And so ever since then, I just don't have the heart. Well, that, and I've got too much stuff in my house. Like, so I'm trying to, so just make sure you have digital copies for those of us who who have bad cats that pee all over our collection and destroy our 90s collection. And then I lost the heart to collect after that. I only did a few books in like paper, and the rest is all digital. Even my traditional books, I do Kindle now.
Well, cats can piss on digital comics.
Yeah, they could destroy my tablet. They could get up onto the thing and destroy my tablet, fritz it out. So.
That's horrible. I don't know what I would do if, like, if one of my cats destroyed something sacred to me.
All my ElfQuest, you would die, wouldn't you? All my ElfQuest copies gone.
Yeah. Aww.
Yeah, and part of it was because I didn't like bag everything because I read my comics, so I didn't bag them because I didn't want to make them precious. I just wanted to be able to pick them out and read them, and like it was okay if they looked well read. Yeah, so all my early Vertigo, Jesus. Anyway, so that sucked.
when I I was like, I'm originally from New York and living in Kentucky now. When I originally moved here, I sold a lot of, like, I had a couple of hundred paperbacks, like books I've read. Mm-hmm. I had giant, big art books, and I don't know, comic related books, and magazines, and then I had what was essentially my comic collection, which was everything I inked to that point, which is, we're talking around 2006, and then whatever collection I had left. Like, I'm not so much a collector, but I love comic book art, so anything I loved comic book art wise, I kept, because I had thousands of comics, because I read like at least 100 a week at one point.
Right.
But when I left New York, I sold a lot of it for dirt cheap. Just, making a couple of bucks along the way. But when it came down to it, a lot of my comics went to one person. Like, I had a close friend at the time, and he's a huge comic book fan. I was like, hey, you want this stuff? He was like, really? I was like, yeah. And it's like, I just gave it away to him. I could have made some decent money, but
yeah. Well, see, my husband is the same. There's a war in our house because I listen to music on MP3, and my husband collects and sells vinyl. So it's very much, we're very my whole house is filling up with records now. I can't, I don't have any room for comics. So when he buys new music, he buys the album, and then I get the digital download code, and then I burn it onto CD for him, and I just listen to it on my iTunes or whatever. But yeah, so it's like some people just love the tactile experience. They just love it, and there's nothing wrong with that. And digital vinyl's making a comeback. So I feel like books and regular traditional comics will never go away. There's always going to be a place.
Yeah.
And the reading experience is different, obviously, in a book than it is online. So.
Yeah, it's like, I definitely don't read like I used to. And it seems like I force myself, I get into a rhythm of reading stuff again, and then I fall out again. It's just that, like, when I was living in New York, I used to take the train into the city and then back home. And that's like at least an hour ride in, hour ride home. And that used to be my reading time. I used to love it. it was like, definitely like um, did it pretty much almost every day. And yeah, I mean, since I left New York, I got out of the habit of reading because it's like, well, I'm not sitting a train car that is, jittering back and forth and bouncing up and down. Um, it's like I just can't sit in a chair and read half the time. Um, and mind you, like that was before I got seriously into computers. I was dabbling back then. Um, and yeah, it's like half the time reading stuff online, and my focus isn't the same as it used to be also.
Right.
I got
Do you still
a lot
collect? Do
more.
you still read the? What kind of stuff do you normally read now when you do pick something up? Is it mostly indie stuff, or are you still reading?
I don't have a comic store in my town. I'm not
Mm,
picking up anything right now. Um, I mean, it's like when I buy stuff on like, support people's Kickstarters or Indiegogos. That's the stuff I eventually read.
mhm.
Yeah, it's like I got a bunch of issues, and yeah, they just go on my shelf. Um, and I mean, it's also like people send me stuff online to read. It's like, "Hey, can you read this for me and maybe review it?"
Mm,
It's like, yes, I'll do that. And so I got a stack of stuff I have to read, kind of, sort
mhm,
of, because I said I would. Um, but more than likely, I'm reading my friends' stuff.
mm,
You know,
mhm.
it's like, and I mean, a lot of them wouldn't be my friends if it wasn't for the fact that I fell in love with their work first.
You're a good friend, Peter.
Aw,
Good friend supporting your friend's art. It's good.
yeah. I know how it is. It's like, um, it's hard. It's hard to get your voice out there. And it's like I'm still working on my channel and still growing my channel, and
Hmm.
um, but I figure, it's. I almost figure like if things don't truly blow up this year in a good way, that I'm kind of done with the rat race part of this. I don't know. It's like I really think that, it's like I have a tendency to just blow up the bridge, and I think that this year things are going to happen. I might have to wait a little longer, but I got a lot of things in the pipeline that, if it starts up, then it's sort of going to be a domino effect, and hopefully in a good direction.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, haven't you had your run of bad luck in the last couple of years? Aren't you due for some good luck? I think.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, every time I tuned into you, you were like, "Oh man, my computer! I'm on like this other computer. My computer's dead now. My laptop's dead."
yeah.
And
Oh God.
so you had a real run of bad luck for a while.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had one laptop die, and then just problems with programs and everything.
Yeah, right. Uh, so what are you inking with these days? What are your tools of the trade?
Oh, still the same. Brush and a quill,
Hmm.
pictographs. um, yeah. I mean, it's what I used in 1991. It's what I'm using today.
Oh my, I don't. I kind of miss traditional, but I haven't done it in so long. It would be like learning to ride a bike all over again. So,
Yeah, I mean, you have the skill. It's just a matter of keeping it up.
mhm.
And if you haven't done it for a while, it's probably not as bad as you think. But
Well,
you know,
I bet it is. I'm not feeling good enough with my digital skills these days anyway, so, like, I bet it would be even worse with my here, maybe this here needs to go back. I am having the worst time trying to get a reference for this pose that I'm working on, so, That's what I'm doing over here. I've got my Google equine references going. So yeah, it would be nice someday if you get some serious money to upgrade your system so I can really see all your juicy lines and good detail on your YouTube channel.
Well, I mean, I got it working better
Oh
in my
yeah, it's
videos.
definitely better than it was, right? For a
Well,
while there.
it's better in my edited videos where I can turn the camera, you know, I could do the OBS stuff and really set it up
Yeah.
nicer. Um, with the Hangout, I'm just subject to how the camera looks. It's like okay, it has to do with the internet isn't strong enough for me to use OBS during a Hangout. So I'm stuck with however the camera is set up.
I hear you. Well, when I
Yeah.
stream with OBS, I still have I mean, if you've listened to any of my videos, you've heard me complaining that I have like really good internet supposedly, and yet like I still have lag and issue problems while I'm streaming through OBS. But I also have it when I'm video gaming. And so even though they came out and give us a whole new kit outside and gave us a new modem and we're paying for the, best one, it's still not working right. So I feel your frustration, right? It's like,
Mm,
you know, I don't know what they're and supposedly they're going to bring fiber optic cables to our area in the next like year or two, and then I'll try that. But it's going to be like ridiculously expensive.
yeah.
So, but I don't know.
Well, I'm sort of in a zone where it's not exactly the hot spot,
Mhm.
and it goes out. It goes out once in a while, um, and sometimes it's just a matter of like the internet's barely good enough to to stream.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you're hoping that when you move to a different place, you'll have a better connection.
Yeah,
Mhm.
somehow I feel like I'm on the worst block in the town. It's like,
You have gremlins, Peter. That's what it is.
that's what it is. I think,
Gremlins.
or the cats ate the power lines.
Oh, well, maybe you have like, I don't know, chipmunks and stuff eat power lines. When we were camping one time out in Wyoming when I was young and adventurous and no longer that, um, we were up in the middle of nowhere and off of some dirt access road. And my stepfather woke up and there was a porcupine chewing on the cables underneath the Jeep. And thank
Uh,
God he had heard it and caught it before it actually chewed through, or we would have been stuck like in the middle of nowhere with and there was coyotes all around howling at us that night. So
well,
that would have been fun. And this horse looks terrible. I can't get this angle, Peter. Help me. Help me. Give me
uh,
some art help. Give me some like art
eh,
mojo is what I need. I need art mojo.
well, horses aren't easy, but um, I thought it was. Yeah, where am I? Okay.
Some mojo, man. I need it.
Uh, um,
I can't get him from behind. I can get him from the sides.
um,
This neck in 3D.
see, now I'm trying to. Okay, there we go. On you. I was
Because I want his neck to
trying-
be
um,
like he's reaching his like he's like pulling back with his neck so it's not
I think
outstretched, So I just can't seem to get it.
so. Just push it back then.
Push it back even more like this. Ugh, can't do it.
Yeah. Well, can't you grab like from the neck up within the program and um actually just pull it back?
Yes, I could do that. Let me
Yeah.
find a. So
I
you're
mean,
saying just
yeah.
manipulate my sketch and see if I can find something better. Maybe that's all it needs.
Yeah. I mean, that's how a lot of digital artists work. They just like, oh, it's too big, and they just do that and make it slightly smaller. Like piecework.
Yeah, no, That's what I mean. If I went to traditional, I would have to actually like forget it. Forget it. I'd have to actually like draw out my pencils really nice and everything. And yeah, because I pretty much just draw with my inks now half the time. I don't go to finished pencils and then ink over that. If I
Right.
erase my problem is I'm trying to think in 3D. So I'm trying to like build, and I can't think in 3D at all. It's not my skill set.
I played a lot of video games, so I could do that. I could see things three-dimensionally. Not that I'm good at drawing three-dimensionally, but I could see it in my head.
Oh, yeah, paying for the Creative Cloud. I was toying with the idea of getting Illustrator for a project for a logo design I was working on for a client, and then I found something else, and I said, nah, and I forgot to delete the Creative Cloud because I still have the oldest version of Photoshop, and I refuse to pay a monthly subscription fee.
Yeah, I think that's the worst idea that they came up with.
It's like leasing your art programs, and like, what if a lot of artists don't have money, right? So like, what if you
Yeah,
don't have enough money that week to pay for your subscription, and then you can't work?
you're screwed.
So yeah, so it's like until my program, like my Photoshop physically stops working, I'm not going to change it. But with Clip Studio, I suppose I could probably do almost everything in Clip Studio that I do Photoshop with. But I mean, I just don't. I don't know. I really am opposed to it. But then people are like, well, that gives the developers like the money to keep the updates current, and you have access to. I mean, I know there's benefits, but I'm like morally opposed to it. I think like I
I
don't
don't
lease
think
cars. I don't lease my programs. You know.
I don't
So
think the makers of that are starving. So
no, they are not. No, and I had all those Kyle T. Webster brushes. I had bought them. And and now he went to Adobe. And when you can't get his brushes anymore, he doesn't sell them anymore because they're exclusive, right? And
mm,
so when I emailed him and I said, "Well, you're going to still offer updates to those of us who have bought your brushes," he never even replied to me.
mm,
And I was like, "Dude, come on, that's not cool." That's so I don't know. So I guess not. I guess, and I would guess that's probably not his. I would guess that's I guess that's part of his contract with Adobe, right? That he has to be exclusive. And so, and hey, he deserves to get paid for his stuff. So, but I just felt kind of, maybe he just didn't see my email. We'll just give him the benefit of the doubt. But I have not received any updates to his brushes since he went there. So I don't think he's supporting it for us people anymore.
mm.
So I don't know. Maybe I just need to, I don't know if it's a choice feeding my cat or my kid and getting brushes. What am I going to do, Peter?
It's a tough choice.
Oh, spoken like a true artist, huh?
Yeah. Of course, you feed the family.
Right. They are good brushes, though. So if you do have the subscription, you should all hook them up onto your Photoshop. So there you go. So I'm not dissing him. He makes a good product. I'm just mad that he's not supporting us little folk anymore.
Mm. Well, I mean, there's alternatives. Not that I've
Well, you know
really
what
looked.
the thing is? I can actually make my own brushes. So I don't
Yeah,
even really need them. They were great, right? So,
yeah, yeah.
uh, has is Ronie still here?
I haven't looked. Hey, Ronnie, you still here?
He's still here. I want to ask Ronie all kinds of questions, but he's not on this chat.
And it's a beautiful landscape, Karyn. I have one book app out now. Oh wait, no, I'm seeing old comments.
Yeah, like I want to know
Maybe.
all about his stuff and like but so I want to know all the things.
Oh,
Ronie,
Ronnie. Why don't you come into the Hangout? I put the Hangout link into the Anthology book group.
is that closed though? Do you have to put
Well,
it in the 100s?
he's in it.
Oh, he's in that group? See,
No,
again, I
wait,
don't
that's
know.
right. That's right. That's right.
You have to put it in the 100s group.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't do that. Do you want to come into the Hangout? I
Yeah, if
think
he
so.
wants to come in, he might not want to.
All right. So I'm going to do some stuff so you could talk. So you got the audience.
Yeah, so I'm gonna when you come in, Ronie, I'm gonna pester you, and I want to find out all about what you're doing, and you can tell me all about your apps and stuff because that sounds like super cool. And I want to hear all about the other comic you did, and if you finished it, and if you did it yourself, or published it, kickstarted it, if it's on a web comic somewhere. I want to know all the things because I'm nosy. So I'm nosy, and I don't finish anything. So
That's not true.
well, not comic book related. So, which is why I always try to do the 100 stuff because.
You want kitty?
How many members does your creator-owned group have now, Peter?
Like 1,500.
I know. So, like, why doesn't everybody in there follow you on YouTube? Then you would have then you could be monetized.
Yeah, really.
How can you leverage that more?
They're just,
you need a moderator for that group or something to get conversations going and stuff so that you can.
You're actually a moderator in that group.
Am I still a moderator? Wow.
Yeah. Well,
maybe I should.
I think you have supreme control over there. I think.
Oh man, maybe I should go abuse the power.
Yeah, there you go.
I see that, like, I have the power to, like, accept people, but I never did anything with it because I thought that was maybe just an oversight or something, so maybe I'll go see what's up over there. Creator owned. That's like that's a nice big community. We should, get that going more, and I know you're always busy, so.
Yeah, it's every once in a while I do a little more there. And I did get some moderators, but they're busy and,
I hear you.
And my browser's not responding. I'll get you, Ronnie. Just hold on.
Yeah, because Karyn's too nosy for her own good. That's what happens when you have me on, Peter. I'm sorry.
Oh, I enjoy it.
I was going to try to do this as a 100s challenge, and I gave that up pretty quick. So I feel kind of bad that this for my anthology, like you're doing, I blew it early. So,
well, I mean, it's like it's not as easy as a lot of people think.
No, and I knew I was. Yeah, I sort of left it till I was like, I don't want to do this all in the last minute. So I was going to try to do the 100 days, but now I'm doing it all at the last minute.
I mean, I started out just posting on Instagram, Griffin sketches and I did that for 50 days. And then midway, I switched and decided I'm going to do the videos and, life happens and I'm behind schedule.
Exactly.
Today's technically 68 and I'm 63 or whatever it is.
Oh,
And now my browser is just not responding. It's a little freaking out. I mean, okay, I'm going to drop out and come back because this isn't working.
Okay.
But to hang out, I'll be back.
Okay. All right. So I cannot draw this because it looks like much like a grown-up horse. So I'm going to. Are you back? Try to find a reference picture for a colt or a foal from behind. Let's see if I can find one. I wish I had those horses. When I was a girl, I used to have, you know, those briar horses or whatever they're called. I wish I still had a couple of those. That would really help. Nobody takes pictures of horses from behind, it seems. Let's see, if I was good at 3D, though, I'd just be able to construct the face, like, but I'm not. So, and you can't see what I'm doing here. I'm just looking at pretty horsies. All right, hopefully I don't have to do anything here in the Hangout. Oh, I'm just holding it down. They have a funny structure, and their legs are difficult. And if you look at their skull, like, they have very funny skulls. They have a big hole for their nose, nostrils. They have like really high eye sockets. And then they have a hole like this with their skull. And they have a giant, massive jaw. But see, I'm making this side view and not like from behind. And then when I try to like go into like use wedge shapes, I can't do that either. I can't figure it out. I wonder, did I download? I thought I downloaded. I know I downloaded a like werewolf 3D object, and I don't remember if I got one for a horse or not, because that would help. This is what I'm trying to do, but I just can't. I can't seem to get it right. And then, still don't even think that's right. This is the center line. Ugh. And then they have the jaw is like this, and it sort of goes like this, but does it look like a... Hey, yay, Peter's back.
Yay! All right, let's see if this works. Here we go. Does that work? I don't even know. Well, I'll do it the old-fashioned way. I may have just invited him. I'm not sure. But I'm sending him the link.
All right.
So we'll see what develops.
Then I can put him under the microscope and grill him out with all of this
Yes.
stuff.
What's this comic stuff you speak of?
That's right. We'll make him talk for a while.
All right, let's see.
Looks kind of like a donkey right now, doesn't it? I whine a lot, Peter. You know this. If you've watched any of my videos, you know.
You remind me of Gaz a lot. It's like, just constantly focused on one thing you want to get right and fiddling with it. And
oh, yeah. Yeah, he has the perfectionitis syndrome too. I mean, at some point I have to stop but I'll get I know I've talked about this on my stream. I'll get almost physically ill if it's not it's not a virtue. I'm telling you, it's like a mental problem. If I'm not, and I never get anything done because I just go over. Remember when I was working in my model and you're like, you're doing all that just for one thing. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm a little ridiculous. So then I have to try to figure out how I can reuse it because I spent hours on that stinking model in SketchUp. And the proportions are off. Oh my gosh. It's because I made the head too small. I can't deal with
this. Hey, Ronnie, if you hear me, is that a Yahoo email you sent me or Gmail, or let me know? Because I need the full email. You sent me a partial email. It's not going to work.
Oh, no.
But I sent them the link.
Okay.
Message me back on Facebook if you're listening.
Have you been having lots of streams with the regular group that you used to, Peter, or is everybody really busy right now?
I haven't because I don't think of this as reliable. So it's like I don't want to invite 10 people and it just completely crash on me.
Mm-hmm.
I had to just drop out because my browser was freaking out.
This looks weird.
So it's kind of like stumbling around in the dark. So can you go onto YouTube and see if he's still there?
Yeah.
Because I got 2 things open and that's my limit.
Abe Sapien just came in. Hey, Abe.
Hey, Abe.
My ears on the unicorn on my comic become derpy and then cool in some panels, Abe says. Thank you. He feels my pain. See, you were wise, Peter, to do a griffin and not a unicorn. You were wise. Ronnie, are you still around? We're trying to get Ronnie into the chat, Abe. This is what's going on here. Because I have all the questions.
Yeah, I get the feeling that Ronnie
We lost him. Did we lose him?
Messaged me on Facebook and then left Facebook probably. So,
Oh.
like, well, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Well, we'll see if he comes back.
Yeah, I guess there's one other thing. Well, I don't know if we're connected on. G Plus is going away, so that doesn't work either. And let me just try to type in his name.
Ugh. Why am I doing this? Yeah, it is hard to draw unicorns, and I'm wishing I had picked something else. But I had set my idea in stone, and then everybody was like, "Oh no, we can do general fantasy," and I was like, well, I guess I should have changed my idea like Peter did. Are you drawing? I can't remember, Abe. What? I know I've probably seen. Have you posted? You've posted in the group, right? So I've probably seen your stuff. Like, I feel really bad because I have the worst memory in the face of the planet. I can't keep anything straight anymore.
Abe's working on his 100 days. I think he's done this far, if I'm not completely wrong.
You had issues the last time you got on a live stream. You had to use another device to get on the stream, says Abe. Okay. So he's doing the 100s, or he's doing the challenge, or he's doing the challenge as his anthology? I mean, what is he doing?
He's doing just the challenge. So he's not part of the anthology, I believe.
Okay. So is he currently working on Abe, are you currently doing the 100s?
Karyn wants to know.
I know. I want to know everything. Because I'm out of the loop. I'm taking over Peter's stream with all the questions because I'm just out of the loop. So, okay, Ronnie's here. So Abe is doing his second run. Ronnie's here. Were you able to get... Peter says he needs your email address again because it didn't come over all the way to invite you to the stream. So could you resend it to him? I gotta go see if I'm subscribed to Abe's. Abe, do you have anything on your YouTube channel? Am I subscribed? Let's go see. Go to channel with a new tab, please.
Oh. Okay, I'm right.
I am not subscribed to Abe, so I will subscribe to Abe right now. And I'm clicking the bell so I will get notified.
Does that work? I haven't yet to see it work for me.
It does. I get them.
Really?
I get them all in my notifications if under the bell icon up top. Like, so I'm subscribed to you and I get the bells. So I had a notification when you were live. I had a notification you were going to be live in 30 minutes. Yeah, I get it all. You have to subscribe. You have to hit the bell icon though when you hit subscribe. Now I wouldn't say it's like
I've hit the bell on a bunch of people, but I only once in a blue moon do I get noticed. You know,
well, I mean,
notifications.
It doesn't send it to me like via email or anything, but I get it under the bell icon when I log in to YouTube. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Do you get them live, or are they already there?
Every time I update. Go ahead.
So if you get notifications on 3 different people that are live or whatever, if you just go to your YouTube, they pop up.
I am here, everybody.
Yay!
Oh, okay.
If I go to the bell icon will just pop up like a number count of how many I have. That's all. It doesn't sometimes it's on the front page and sometimes it's not. I just always check the bell up at the top by my icon.
I get nothing. I don't know why. Maybe it's in my settings.
I'm telling you, it's gremlins, Peter. Gremlins. You have the gremlins. So.
Hey, Ronnie, welcome to the Hangout.
Welcome, Peter. I'm glad to be back.
All right. So, Ronnie, I want to know all the things because I know nothing. So,
Okay.
So you are currently working on the 100s challenge, right?
Yes, I am.
Is it
First time.
First 100 days?
First,
yeah.
First 100 and my second book app that I'm making.
Okay, so you're working on so where is your first book app? Like, is it?
You can find it on Google Hangouts, Amazon, and Apple Store.
Okay, Amazon. So let me click over to Amazon right now and let's see.
But if you have an iPhone, you could go through iTunes, or if you have an Android, you could go through Google Play.
Okay, I'm going to go through Amazon because I kowtow to the evil empire. So, and what do I type in to find you?
You could put in the Sagas of Starsville.
Sagas of Stars. That is what I meant. It's an app. Why won't it let me call it up?
Yeah.
It says, did you mean the Sagas of Statesville? No, that's not what I meant. The Sagas of Starsville, #1, Journey to a New Home.
Yes, that is it.
So why won't it let me click on it in the Amazon? Do I need to find it in apps? Let's look. Apps and games.
Really nice work, Peter, by the way.
There it is.
Both of you are doing really good. Really love the character design, and yeah, they're really looking really great from what I'm seeing.
Aw, thank you. Here we go. Okay, now I have the preview too. So you made it as an app. So what is the difference between it being an app as opposed to like a KDP, like a ebook? Is it interactive?
Yes, it's interactive animation with sound effects, voice actors, all that stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I love comic books. I love animation. So I really wanted to take those two and mesh it together. And, you know, that's the beauty of technology. It's made it possible for people to make book apps or interactive books.
Well, I feel like this is going to be like, you know, a big part of the children's publishing market eventually, and it's just not there yet. But
there are several ones out there already. That's how I found out like 6 years ago when I was making this first book, when I was starting to learn, you know, my own style and everything. So there are a couple books out there that are interactive. But like you said, I feel that people haven't catched on to it quite yet, even though it's been out for several years.
Okay, so if I want to put this on, it says select cloud only to download on your compatible device. I don't want to put it on I don't know. I could put it on my kid's tablet, but then I'd have to steal it from him. But that's okay because he never lets me play the Xbox. So we're always fighting over the Xbox. I could fight him for the tablet. I'm going to put it in the cloud for now.
Okay.
I'm going to buy it right now. It's only $1.99. So
yes.
There you go.
All right. Thank you very much. I will check that out later.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
No, you could ask me more questions. Go ahead.
I will. I was going to say I have stuff for sale on Amazon as well. So I understand that, you know, people always say, oh, I'll check it out. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. And then it never happens. So.
Well, with me being an interactive comic book maker, it's unlike you have a physical book, so you know they're going to buy it right there, right now. But if you give them a business card and I show them like a scene, like, hey, this is what the scene looks like. I'll touch different pictures on the screen to show all the different animation sequences. They're like, oh, wow, that's really great, really beautiful. Give them my business card, walk off. I won't find out later that day or not if I made a sale. So
I know. Yeah, it's hard when you're doing digital because I do the same thing with my comic books and people are like, eventually I do, like, people are like, oh, I'm going to tell so-and-so. And then, you know, eventually it does happen. But a lot of people aren't like avid, I don't know, unless it's like clothes or something. They're not really, I don't know.
Yeah, I
They're
think
not really
the
avid.
last time Peter invited me on the show, I was still actually finishing up on my last one.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
So I was even in like selling stage the last time he invited me on. And it was actually on a Saturday too. So
that's funny.
There you go.
yeah.
That's funny. All right. So now your next project is that you're working on for the 100s. Is it another one of these interactive apps that you're doing, or is it a more traditional?
It is. It is interactive. I decided to stick to that because I have so much passion into doing that. Because not just making comics and the whole art behind it, I'm actually a real big passionate in acting, voice acting, music, and all that stuff. So really like, you know, how the book app, you could put all those different elements in it, because even in the book, I have different scenes that have music going along with the animation and the artwork. So it's really nice.
You know, I feel you, because I minored in theater in school and in college. I got a minor in theater, and I've now started teaching myself how to make digital music purely as a background for my videos on YouTube, because I didn't want to keep using the same ones as everybody else. So I don't know. We might be chatting later at some point in the future about like integrating all kinds of stuff, because
even in my beginning of my book, I wanted to show people how to interact with my book, because I was like, okay, with it being an interactive comic book, because at first I was going to have it just big, like pictures, but I'm like, you know what? I want to give it that comic book feel. So I had different squares that you click on and stuff like that. And I had voice bubbles, but I'm like, I didn't want to take too much away from the sing. So there would be a button that you would press to make another voice bubble appear, so it looks like this person was talking and then this person just came in, started talking. So yeah.
And so how long did that take you to do?
The first one, it took me 6 years, just because I had given up on art for a while and I had to get into the groove. And since it was my first book, I'm like, okay, I need to make these characters my own style and really finding my own style. So a lot of it was writing down the story, getting an editor, then doing character design, then redoing a design, then hiring the voice actors, working with the voice actors, saying, okay, I want you to say it in a little bit more anger this way, or, you know, a little bit more slower with this way.
You had to direct the voice actors.
Yeah, like some of them, like they did a really great job, but I felt some things could say a little bit better. Yeah, because with acting and everything, out of the acting I love the most, I'm actually a really big musical fan.
Okay, so, great.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more work than just putting together a comic. You gotta
exactly
direct it and produce it and
find the sound effects, or trying to like look up sound effects, and all I had to do is say at the end of the book, okay, this person made these sound effects, you can find them at this website.
Oh, that's cool. So you gave a lot of people so are you saying then that you got like a lot of stuff for just giving them credits in the end?
Yeah.
Instead of having to pay up front.
Yeah.
On some of that. Exactly. Yeah. That's cool.
Exactly.
How do you like my voice? I could act.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, if anybody's watching and they're part of the 100s, and if they want to, why not?
I'll
do a bit part. I'll do a bit part.
Or even better, since my characters, you know, the thing is with my books is that, I have like 10 books written up, so I have a lot of work going on into the future, is that the book itself is not just the people, but the place where it takes place, like the island, Starsville, is like a character of itself. So it's like I'm creating my own universe where these animals are. And if you look at any of my work, besides the animals, a lot of my landscape and things in the buildings and stuff like that are very detailed. Like Peter commented on one of my videos about my dinosaur bones, because on the book that I'm making now, you, the reader, are actually part of the story. So they're actually talking to you one-on-one, and a lot of the scenes in the comic, you're looking at it from your perspective. So you see dinosaur bones, you see art exhibit, all wonderful things.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll have to check it out later after I find out what if my son hasn't hidden his tablet under his pillow to stay up illicitly all night long when he's supposed to be sleeping, I will. I'll read it tonight, but it just depends. So Abe says that he's killing Kevin's rules on daily posting for his challenge. He's only doing a post every 2 to 3 days, 2 to 3 days, right, Abe? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean,
it's not a hard set rule. I mean, the whole challenge is do it 30 minutes a day, and post somewhere. You could do it every day. You could do it once a week. You could do it once a month. It's whatever works with your schedule.
The social accountability part of it, but the work every day is crucial, right?
Yeah, the work every day is crucial. I mean, it's like, if you wanna get a gold star for a perfect run, then you should post every day about it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. All right, question. Does this look like an adult horse, or I'm trying to make it look like a young horse? That's my problem. So what do you guys think? Chime in. Adult or young right now with these proportions?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of looks young because young horses have like thinner legs, tall legs.
Yeah, I would say that. And even the hair is a lot shorter.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Abe? Because that's what I'm like hung up on right now, is I'm obsessing about that, and I could move forward if I could let that go. If it looks acceptable, I could move forward.
Say yes, Abe.
Oh, all right. We'll see. I'll see what I can do here. Yeah, the obsessiveness. I don't know. So you think that Gazbot's more? Do you think he's more or less obsessive than me, Peter?
I don't know if it's a contest, but
because I think I've got everybody beat, and it's kind of a problem. So.
he goes. I mean, have you watched his weekly videos?
I have to catch up on him this time around. I usually watch everything he posts just because he's so entertaining, but I have not been lately. I've been slacking. So
he is definitely entertaining. But yeah, he is obsesses like. I don't know if that drawing looks like I drew it, or I don't know if like all this character in all these different panels match together. It's like little things and big things, but I love it. I mean, because that's what artists do. And as an artist, I kind of find that stuff helpful. It's like, oh, I didn't even realize it's like I was doing that, or I'm not doing that enough in my own work. It's like, oh man, I don't give a shit about my work.
No. I don't think it's that. I think, like it's there needs to be a happy medium, right? Between those of us who are overly critical and perfectionist, and those of us who are more free going with the flow. Yeah, it's good enough, dude. Just get it going. Let's do it. Like there needs to be that medium. And I think I'm trying really hard on this to meet that. So, but okay. So what programs does Ronie use? Ronie, what programs do you use to make your books?
The program I use it through is actually through a company called Tailspring. They are a publishing company, and the company itself offers their own animation software. So all you really have to do is just go in there, create an account, and start making it for free.
Really?
If you need a little bit more memory, if you need like 2 gigabytes or a little bit higher, depending on how your book is, then that extra memory will start costing like a couple like $5, $10 a month, and it's only $80, I believe, to publish your book. So
Now, is that a flat fee, or do they keep the or do they take a royalty every time there's a sale, or do they just, once you pay the flat fee of $80, then you get all the royalties? How does that work?
basically, it's one of those things that when I make money, they make money. So yeah,
Okay.
we share it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And does the $80, is it hosted on their site and they do the distribution then and stuff?
Like as soon as I publish the book with the $80, say the book is selling for $3, I get half of that, and they get half of that every time a sale's made.
Oh, it's half. That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's like way better than like print on demand t-shirts and stuff where they take they only give you 10%. So
yeah,
that's way better.
Yeah.
And so you use their proprietary software to create the whole thing?
Yeah.
And do you do the artwork in something else, or do you create the art in there too? Or like, do you create your art and then upload it into their program as like stills, or how does that work?
Yeah, I'll upload my artwork, especially the ones that are animation, as PNGs.
Okay.
So yeah.
And could you make no, I suppose I'm trying to say, like, say if you used an animation program that, I don't know, Flash or something, could you then like upload it to their thing, or do you just have to use their software to get the animation to work?
You would have to use their animation, but it's very simple animation. On my YouTube channel, I actually have a couple of videos showing you how to use their animation software.
Okay. Looks like I have a lot of watching to do later to see how you do your.
I need to make more videos, but it's called How to Make a Book App with Ronie Gunter. So yeah.
So is that why when I looked on Amazon that it said that the author was Tail Springs and not?
Yeah,
Ronie?
it's basically the publishing company. Like you have the author who is the owner of Clifford the Big Red Dog, but Scholastics are the ones who, help publish it. So it's that type of deal.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
I own all the rights to the characters and the story. They just own the rights to the actual published animated book. So
that version of it.
yeah,
Yes.
that version of it. So if I wanted to take it and do something else with it with another company, it'll be fine.
If you wanted to make it into like a 2D book, you could do that?
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. Or so are they the only kind of like company that does that, that's for self-publishers, that's successful, or are there other options out there?
No, there are other companies out there that have the same thing. Some you could just contact to get a flat rate so they could do everything and you just give them your artwork. Or there's other programs that are similar to Tailspring that does the same as well.
Okay. And why did you choose Tailspring? What was it about them that you liked the best?
I don't know. There was just something very like nice and simple about their animation, not too difficult. I'm like, wow, this stuff is very simple, but I could take this and have some real fun with it and make it seem like, wow, this is really incredible. And even the publishers of the company are like, we don't know how you did some of the animation with our software because it's just incredible. So they were, happy and excited just to see, me to take their baby and just turn into something they never thought would be possible.
Oh, well, that's cool. So you kind of like made their stuff progress a little bit with your vision.
Yeah.
So that's very cool. I'll have to check those guys out because I also work on children's book stuff, and who knows where I'll take my life eventually because I have to learn how to create all the things. So I'm like one of those. Let's create all the things.
There's actually a famous kids author who actually made a book through Tailspring. You probably heard of him, Will Terry.
Oh yes, Will Terry. He uses that too?
He used, I don't know if he made his second one, but he made his first one through Tailspring. And he actually
Okay.
has a video series showing you about Tailspring as well.
Okay, interesting. All right, let's see. Abe says young, so thank you, Abe, for helping me move past that. And he also says, I was supposed to do weekly vlogs. Then I started with these semi-daily posts. I started to second guess myself. Uh-oh. On top of the family stuff and car breaking down in work, but he's getting better.
Yeah.
I feel your pain. My car died. The whole bottom rusted out and the brakes went whoosh, literally. All the brake fluid went spilling out onto the ground while I was driving it. And now I have no car. So we're down to one car.
Oh, no, it's not good.
So, and it is now to be junked. So I feel your pain, Abe.
I know too many people. Like, I'm in a small town, and I have a lot of friends like in various small towns close by, and it's like too many cars have broke down. Like, my ex's car has finally bought the bullet. She had to put it down.
Oh, isn't it? It's sad. It's sad when I don't know how people like buy and sell cars. Like, they're always like leasing or getting a new car, but I get attached to these junkers, you know. And then it's like knowing that it's going off to the junkyard is to be crushed. It's like, I don't know. Also, this one was my grandmother's car, and she passed away after she gave it to me.
Oh, that's
and it only has.
nice.
It doesn't even have 100,000 miles on it yet, you know. But because I live in soggy, rusty, salty Indiana in the winter, it just. But I'm having a hard time. Like, I could have gotten rid of it already, but it was my grandmother's last car, and so I'm having a hard time letting it go. Even though it's doing nobody any good just sitting in my driveway. So, you know, I don't know. So how are you finding the 100 Days of Making Comics challenge, Ronnie? Is it hard? Are you struggling?
I want to say struggling. Just I was trying to keep to making a post every single day. Some days I would be making on it late at night, and then I wake up and it's like, oh, it's a next day later. So I'll be making 2 videos in like one day.
And do you have a day job?
Yeah,
I do.
Mm-hmm. So that's hard.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. I mean, you know, nobody, you know, we're not getting paid to make videos. Even best case scenario, you know, you can only potentially make money later. So it's hard to fit it into your schedule, whatever else you're doing to make a living and to have a life and to, you know, actually get the work done on top of doing the video.
Yeah, I mean, if you're monetized and you have a big audience, or eventually somebody goes back and watches it once it's monetized, that gives you a little bit of money, but it's not nearly commensurate with what you are actually putting in, like time-wise. It's not anywhere near an hourly wage. Oh my God.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I work a lot
added up the hours I put into it.
But yeah,
Right?
I work morning shifts, so I'm able to spend time at night to work on my stuff. So that helps.
Okay. Do you mind my asking what you do for a day job?
I work for Walmart.
Oh, you work for Walmart. How are they? Are they better now, or are they still kind of like bad to their employees, or are they getting better?
They're bad. I'll just say that.
They are.
Yeah.
Still. Ugh.
I've been with the company for 10 years, and I believe I should make a little bit more than I am now. So
10 years. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time. So when they say grow a career with them, do you feel like I'm still not happy with this? So you're growing a career with them, or you're going to get out if something better comes? Hey, I don't want to out you to your employer. Maybe I shouldn't. I'm nosy. So if I'm too nosy, just say, I don't want to tell you, Karyn.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's because I used to be a reporter.
Yeah.
And so I'm very nosy. I worked for a newspaper, and I wrote arts and entertainment stories for a while. And then I guess that's a good thing to be nosy when you're a reporter, but not good with talking to people.
Well, it's like, you know, last year they're like, okay, we're going to increase minimum wage to people coming off the street $11, $10 an hour. But you only gave the people that's been with the company company forever, like a one-time payout.
Oh, really?
So it's, yeah.
Oh, that's not nice.
No, and it used to get raises based off of how productive you are. So if you were more productive and one person just didn't want to do nothing, usually that person will get a smaller raise than you did. And now everybody's getting the same raise no matter how productive and not they are with their job.
Oh, so it's not based on merit. It's just across the board.
Yeah. So basically, if say this person makes $10 an hour and this person makes $10 an hour, you're both going to get a 2% raise.
Huh. Well, you should be rewarded for hard work. If you're putting in the extra effort to be, to do an extra job, you should, or to go the extra mile, they should reward you for that. That doesn't seem fair.
Yeah.
Well, I know jobs are tough for everybody right now all over the country. So, I mean, it isn't even non-Walmart jobs. It's just unfortunate that people aren't getting paid what they're worth, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think that working a job like Walmart lets you, like, so when I used to work, I've worked all the jobs. I've been a maid, I've been a janitor, I've been a telemarketer, I've been a server, I've done everything, right? So when you're doing those, like, I don't know what you do for Walmart. Your job might be very like mentally difficult.
I do everything.
So, but for me, when I worked those non-creative jobs, then I was able to create a lot. It seemed like I had more energy for creating after work than I do sometimes where I'm creating. Like it was easier to like, okay, I can't wait till I get home and I can do my art, as opposed to, oh, I'm here at home and I have to do my art. Like, do you find that, or do you, if you were sitting at home all day, would you have not my problem? Would you be like, art all the time, man? I'm golden.
I would think that if I was spending most of the time on my projects, I would probably feel that way. But if I was doing client work, I probably wouldn't. Okay.
So you do everything for Walmart, huh?
Yeah.
I guess after 10 years, you would know all the skills.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So what do you hope to do with your book business? What is your 5-year plan? What does that look like? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
In 5 years, I would love to do it at least not full-time, part-time, making enough money where I could like focus on not just the books, but like make probably a product store for it, not just buttons, stickers, and stuff like that, but maybe even a plush toy or something like that. That'd be awesome.
Oh, plush toys, huh? So you want to build this into like an empire?
Yeah.
So you and Peter have dreams of empire. Peter wants to grow his comic book empire, and you want to grow your interactive media empire.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's all good. That's good and worthy goals, guys. So how are you guys going to get there in 5 years?
Just by working hard.
Working hard.
Yeah. Trying to dish out more books, trying to find more resources. That's what you got to do. You just can't sit back and wait for something to fall into your lap.
Yeah, that's true. It seems like one of the best ways to get people with eyes on your products on Amazon or anywhere else is freaking Facebook ads still. But the problem is you got to have money to make money, right? So
yeah, exactly.
These it's hard to market without a marketing budget, anything. It drives me nuts. Like I watch all the independent publishing podcasts and stuff. And like, I would love to be able to implement like half the things they do because they clearly get results, but they have money. So are you guys both growing mailing lists yet? Have you started a mailing list?
I have not yet.
Uh-oh, you better start a mailing list there, Tuffy. That's like your number one thing you need to do. Is Peter still here?
I don't see him anymore.
I was just going to ask him if he was starting his mailing list yet. I'm screen sharing. Peter. Uh-oh. So.
But I appreciate you asking me questions and being so interested.
Oh, well, I am interested. Yeah, as long as I'm not being a nag because or a pet.
No,
because,
trust me. It makes me feel good that people want to know.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, so do you have a website or do you just using your page?
I do have a website.
Okay, so what you need to do is get a mailing list, like go through MailChimp or something, which is free for the first 250 people or whatever, and create a link, sign up link on your website to sign up to the newsletter, because that is the one piece of marketing that you own, that you personally own. And no matter what platform you use, you will always be able to, like, say you decide to go with a different company and it's not Teespring anymore. Or what? I'm not Teespring. What is it?
Tailspring.
Tailspring. Yeah. Then you would still be able to take your mailing list with you to your new thing, because they might have their own mailing list that they're not going to share with you. Like they might say, "Hey, see what I'm saying?" So like, you should do that and then put it on like the bottom of your videos or link to your website on the bottom. I know you probably know all this, but I tell everybody who's creative independent to do this because some people know and some people don't, but that's like the number one thing. Yes, now I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I went out to hang out and came back in. I don't know what's going on, but it's like, this is why I'm not doing Studio Synergy, because it just keeps failing me.
Oh, okay. Well, you need to have a moderator who can keep the chat going while you go in and out is what you need, Peter.
Well, you're my moderator today.
I am, huh? Well, while you were gone, I was lecturing Ronie on how he needs to have a mailing list, and he should get a free MailChimp mailing list to build up his mailing list newsletter. And I said, "Do you have one, Peter?" And then you weren't there.
I don't have one. I am, like, I was going to start one at some point. I am connected to MailChimp. Got something set up there. I'm on LinkedIn and I have over 5,000 connections there. Everyone has an email I have, I can get. So it's like when I'm ready, which won't be too long, I'll officially set one up. I'm thinking of how a lot of people have something free to, like, hey, if you want this, sign up for my mailing list.
Yeah, a mailing list sign up perk, right?
Yeah, so I'm like,
so I give people, well, I say that I'm going to give people free pages, and I never spend them any. However, because I haven't sent out an email, I keep forgetting to send out my newsletter. However, I do offer free downloads of like coloring pages on my website that people come and do all the time. Like even people that don't, I get downloads all the time from my website, and I get newsletter signups every once in a while, but I'm not actively promoting it because, like Peter, I have this stuff set in place, and I do have a growing mailing list over there, a newsletters, but I haven't been. This year's goal was like to send out a monthly newsletter, and it's already March, and yeah, so I haven't. But I was just preaching the fact that everybody that's a creative, because I was asking, how are you going to grow your empire, Peter and Ronie?
Yeah.
And then I said, you guys need to get your mailing list going. That's how that started. Because it's do as I say, everybody, not do as I do. So,
right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I want everybody to succeed. And so I will tell you how to do it. And then I will live vicariously through you guys. Okay. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we'll have to buy you a car.
Yeah. Or a cup of coffee. That would be good too.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know. Right now it's okay since I work from home. I don't really need it, but it does complicate things when I have to do stuff for my kid at school. My husband commutes a half hour away. So
yeah.
Then we have to like share the car, and I have to. If he lived in town, it wouldn't be a problem, but sharing the car. But I don't like traveling a half hour up and half hour back twice a day just to get my husband because I have stuff to do during the day. So
it sucks. I have there's a couple of friends of ours. that live out in the boonies now, and both their cars broke down, and they were using leases, but her car broke down. So it's like,
oh my gosh, really?
They had to get they did get one of their cars back and running, but it's like borderline, and they're gonna have to buy a cheap car or something just to have an extra.
Yeah, that's what I need. I just need a cheap around town car that can get me to the grocery and my kids' school and back. That's all I need, really. So it'll happen eventually.
Yeah. So I looked on Instagram, and where's my brother? My brother's in Paris now.
Your brother? He's in Paris. Why is he in Paris? Was he doing work or for fun?
It's probably, everything's fun, but it's probably work related. I saw him and Amanda were hanging out with Chris Cromot.
Oh, well, I follow him on Twitter. I don't know if I follow him on the gram either, but I do follow him. I follow him on the Twitter. I have been for like a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, he posts a lot of good things on Twitter, but he has a lot of good pictures on the Instagram.
It was fun when he was posting pictures of the stuff from like the 90s. When he was young, a while back, he was posting a lot of old throwback pictures. That was fun to see.
Yeah, he posted one with me, and
with you. I didn't see that one.
It was my brother Tony's birthday party, like 7th birthday party or something or another.
Now, how's the age group? Who's the oldest and stuff? I don't know how that all.
Well, okay, so I have 3 older brothers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the youngest.
Oh, Peter's the baby of the family.
It's me. Then Jimmy is next, which makes sense because we're both in comics, and we were really close when we were really young, so we influenced each other. Mm-hmm. Then there's Anthony. So Jimmy's like a year and a half older than me, and Anthony's like a year and a half, 2 years older than him. Then there's Victor, who's the oldest, and he's in his 60s right now.
Wow. So are you guys close to Victor because he's so much older? I mean, I know in bigger families, sometimes the older siblings are more like parents, or they were just out of the house while the others were in school. So,
well, I'm actually the black sheep at the moment, because they're all living in Florida, and I'm living in Kentucky.
Oh.
So they're not in the immediate same area, but they're in the kind of central Florida. Mm-hmm. Close enough.
How come you don't go to Florida? Well, it's expensive there, but I bet parts of it are pretty. My mom's in Florida, so I know.
I'm in Florida.
You're in Florida?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
I don't like the extreme heat, and mostly it's like, back in 2006. I mean, me and Jimmy were the last ones in Brooklyn. Victor moved out first, and he went to Jersey. He went bouncing around different places, and he wound up in Vegas for years, living in a home in Vegas. Anthony, as soon as he had his first kid, he moved to Florida. And Jimmy, I was still living in New York. I lived in Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island, was staying in Manhattan at various times. But we were still both in New York in 2006. That's when my mom passed. Like, we were there making sure she was okay and taking care of her when we could, and all that. My oldest brothers would show up once a year or something. And as soon as she passed, we both intended, like, we're not staying in New York. It's too expensive. And by that point, him and Amanda were together. They, weren't married, but they were pretty much a couple. And she put out feelers for homes, so they could buy a home, and it just so happened to be Florida. So they moved to Florida. I was undecided, and I was talking to a friend of mine online, and he said, "Well, you come out here if you like it. You can get a place and stay." So that's what I did. It's like I'd never been in Kentucky in my life, and him and his family at the time were in Bardstown. So I sort of lived with them for a little bit and found my own apartment, and I lived there 2 years, and I moved around a bit. I was in Louisville for a while, and now I'm in Campbellsville, which is a smaller town. But I kind of really like it. It's like, I'm in touch with anybody I want to be online.
Mm-hmm.
And, so like my 3 older brothers in Florida, and I'm here. I like it here because it's not as severe, harsh weather as New York.
Mm-hmm.
So the winters aren't as bad. But I couldn't stand being in Florida because I'm not good in summer, and that's just summer all around.
Mm-hmm. I know my mother loves it in Florida, and I'm like, because she hates the cold now and she loves the heat. And I'm always like, oh, I couldn't do summer in Florida. I would die. So, but I'd like to be there right now. So.
Yeah, I look forward to cold days when it gets down here in Florida, because I'm not even originally from Florida. I'm from Missouri, so I'm a show me state.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what part of Florida? Well, I mean, don't get too personal on the internet, but what part of Florida are you?
The Tampa Bay area.
The Tampa Bay area?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and Abe says that he hates traveling and he wants to work from home, or at least in town. But he also said, a brother, I worked at a DC in AZ. I don't know what he was talking about there. Did I miss something? Do you guys know what he was talking about? Abe, what were you talking about if you're still here?
I'm not on the YouTube page, but I saw that. I forget what he was referring to the time. I forget now. I'm
Walmart DC. That's what he says. I'm reading it for us.
Walmart DC.
He just answered, and I asked him if he has to travel a lot, and he said he has to travel about an hour every morning. So he commutes. He's got an hour commute. So see, Abe could be spending all of his time reading the comics that you used to read when you were doing the train commute, Peter.
Yeah, I sort of miss it, but it's like I don't have that lifestyle anymore. I mean, I used to work a 9 to 5 before I started comics, and yeah, I lived in Brooklyn and worked in Manhattan at different places. And you were talking about being at your job for, what was it, 10 years? I was never at one place for more than 2 years. Because I would do a good job and then start looking around, getting that 2-year itch, looking around at other places, get pretty much the same job, maybe a little upgrade somewhere else, but better pay. So every year I would move. I mean, I was a outside messenger who became an inside messenger who became I ran a mailroom pretty much at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I love that stuff, but it's like I decided to do comics for a living, and
the evil lure of comics corrupted you.
It's like I have I've yet to make what I made then, but one day.
Abe, how long did you work at that Walmart? Was it 10 years? Probably not. That's pretty admirable, Ronnie, I have to say.
Well, I'm a family man, so that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to pay the family's way. So,
Yeah.
gotta do what you got to do.
What did Pee Wee say? I'm a loner. I'm a rebel.
Pee Wee Herman, yeah. I'm a loner, Daddy.
Oh my gosh, you guys. We're dating ourselves with that.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a Pee Wee Herman pop figure.
There you go.
Pee Wee Herman, wow. That's funny. Poor Pee Wee. Whatever. I wish he was working more. I mean, every once in a while he shows up like it's like a cameo in something.
Well, he did have his own movie that was on Netflix, I think last year, 2 years ago. Yes.
Was it good?
I liked it. It was different because I think they were just low budget, but it had a lot of funny moments that, it was traditional Pee Wee in a lot of places. So yeah, it was good. I liked it a lot. For someone who grew up watching Pee Wee.
I think my husband would like that. Do you remember what the name of it was?
Oh, not on the top of my head. I would have to look it up.
And it was like last year, like 20. So there was a Pee Wee.
It was either last year or 2 years ago.
And was it under his own name and not a Pee Wee thing? It was like just him under his own.
I think it was under a Pee Wee thing. Let me look.
Oh, you're even going to find it for me. You're a good person.
I forget if I've seen it. I might have seen it.
Abe wishes there was a train where he lives or a bus he has to drive on one of the 2-lane roads here, and there's lots of accidents. And he did work at Walmart for about 7 years. Wow. About a year as an
Pee Wee's Big Holiday.
Pee Wee's Big Holiday.
Oh, okay. I think I sort of.
Wow, he put in some serious Walmart time too. Groundskeeper, 4 years. 3 is a third shift maintenance tech. Which doesn't sound fun, but I don't know.
Is it, you fixed the Coke machine? No. I don't know.
I mean, I did a lot. Like, I've also worked as like at fast food. I worked at a Wendy's. I mean, so I've done all my share, but Walmart was not one in my. And I did do retail at a oh, this will date me, at one of the very last 5 and Dimes, Woolworths. I worked retail at a Woolworths. So.
Well, I've done some fast food. I've done when I came here and like me and Lisa moved in together, I agreed and I went to go work at Amazon for a while, and that was pretty insane.
Oh, really? You worked at Amazon?
Yeah. And I also worked in a Mexican restaurant in town. That was fun because it was a family-run business.
Was the food good?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Mexican food, but, I picked my dishes, and, yeah, they made good food.
So what do you do now, Abe? Again, you don't have to answer any of my nosy questions, people. I just like to know all the things about everybody.
I'll just change the title. Karyn asks.
There you go. I know I'm bad. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I like to be asked questions.
I just like to know. I mean, I don't want to talk about myself. I want to know everything about what everybody else is doing and be inspired by everybody else around me, right? So, I mean...
Well, I got a question for you. What's your typical favorite type of art style you like to go with?
Mine?
Like, do you like to go with more cartoony a lot or try to mix it up?
Okay, so I got a BFA in drawing, and that was fine art. I should have gone into commercial art, so that was a big mistake right there. Because I never did anything with the fine art. But I was for many years trying to do more realistic illustrate. I'm an illustrator, or I was, and I was trying to do more realistic, hyper detailed illustrations. But now I am focusing on the coloring books and black and white line art more.
Gotcha.
Just because it takes too long, and I just don't have the the patience for it. I guess so. Like I would have been like book covers and like what are some of the things I was trying to do early on? Like the kind of illustration that you'd see in like a Magic the Gathering card or something like that. That was the kind of style that painting with digital painting I was doing with Photoshop. And I can still do that kind of stuff, but it takes so long. And as you guys have heard me say, I'm too much of a perfectionist. And I like drawing, and I always wanted to do comic books and never did. In fact, I told my mother when I was like 18 that I wanted to become a comic book artist. She said, no. There's no money in that. So I went to college originally to become a medical illustrator, but then the year I got there, they discontinued the program. So that at the college I was at, so that was annoying. But drawing was really, even though I do paint, drawing is what I like to do. It's the easiest. It's the least stressful. So in the last 2 years, I've been trying to switch my output to more line art and cartoony and not realism. So that is the long answer to your question. So yes, I am consciously trying to be more of a cartoonist and line illustrator than I am rendered work.
Gotcha.
Look, a cat. Meow. Get off, go. Meow, meow.
So Abe says that when he was at Walmart, I'm assuming he got all the freezer jobs. On a given day, he went from plus 90 degrees to minus 20. Oh, there's the kitty. Which kitty is that, Peter?
That's Ripley.
And currently Abe works as a housing repair guy. Okay, explain that to a dumb non-tech. What does that mean exactly? Like, does that mean you work on houses or some kind of housing for pipes, or what are you talking about there? Because I'm clueless. Like, I know nothing. I know nothing. Do you guys know? Am I just the only one that doesn't know what that means?
I'm sorry, I was playing with my cat.
A housing repair guy. So he probably works on like maybe apartments and goes around to the different apartments working on whatever's wrong with it.
So that's what you think? All right, let's see if you're right.
That's what I think.
Okay. Is there a prize if you get it right? That's right. Oh, did you guys hear the sad news about Alex Trebek?
What happened?
He has stage 4 pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
But he's going to continue to work as long as he can through his chemo and hopes to beat it. So let's hope he does. Because he's too young to have that.
Yeah.
How old is he?
I don't know, but he looks way too young to have stage 4 pancreatic. Not that it's not an age thing, but you know.
Yeah.
He was just looking too good to have that such a far stage in it.
I know, he doesn't look unhealthy at all. Oh, okay, so Abe does basic repairs, holes and walks, and simple plumbing. So do you work for a complex or a company that manages a bunch of places, or are you a freelance guy that works for a company, or do you work for a company that provides a service to rental places or something? I wish I knew somebody who was handy. My house, it was built in 1950 and it's falling apart, and I am not handy, and neither is my husband. So that is a skill I wish I had. For an Indian tribe. Really? Dude, you have like a really, really cool job.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So like what tribe? Do you mind what tribe? And we're all quiet waiting for the answer.
Lisa's part Indian.
Is she?
I think like 4% Cherokee or something.
Has she? What percentage do you need to be to become recognized with a tribe, or to claim to claim a tribal? You guys know?
I don't know.
More than
4%. More than 4%.
I know my sister. She got her blood work saying that we're more than like probably think like 15%. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm just boring European heritage. Boring.
Yeah, I got a lot of different. My last name is German. Got Irish features. Got Native American blood in me. So yeah, just got a lot.
So has your family been here for a long time then, or was there? I mean, I don't, sometimes there's like long families who've been here for quite a while.
Yeah, they've been here for a while. My father's family moved from Germany to New York, then to Missouri, and my mom's mom. I don't know too much about her because she died before I was born. But my mom's dad was actually a full-blooded Native American.
Oh, really?
Cherokee. So yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
Where she told stories about how her great grandmother was like still living in the teepee and had a pet snake and everything. It was crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Pima. Does that mean you're in the desert Southwest, Abe? He says Pima is the tribe he does repairs for. Are they in the desert Southwest, or am I misremembering that? Wow,
Well,
you guys are all over the place.
I'm my parents were born here, but my grandparents are all from Italy. Two different parts. But when sort of the family moved here, we had a pig farm in Brooklyn.
A pig farm in Brooklyn. I don't bet there's many of those left there anymore.
I don't think there's any left.
In Brooklyn, yeah.
Yeah.
Funny. Yes, desert Southwest, Abe confirms. So
Cool.
yeah. I used to live in Arizona, so I thought I remembered that correctly. Yeah, that's where I got married, is out in Arizona. We lived there for a couple of years in the Mesa area of Phoenix metro area. But now I'm in the Midwest, where it is gray all winter long, and it sucks so bad.
We're part of the Midwest.
I am in Indiana.
Gotcha. So you don't have to deal like with Missouri with the tornado alleys.
Oh well, we do get tornado. So I live up in northwestern, sort of. I'm like an hour away from Chicago,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
An hour and a half. So we do get luckily here, we usually get those straight line derechos or derecos or whatever they call them, the 70-mile-an-hour straight line winds, and for some reason, hardly any tornadoes, but lots of tornado warnings. But I think if we were just slightly south of us, though, we get more tornadoes. So there's something like here that
south
they
of
don't
you, north
touch down.
South of you, north of me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Peter, my husband shares your love of Kentucky because he went to college there. So, and he's always telling me how wonderful Kentucky is and how much he liked it. So,
yeah, it's like, one day if I can afford it, I really want to get like a bunch of acres and some animals and whatnot.
Start a cat rescue.
Start a cat rescue. I already did. I got one going on right now.
That's right. Yeah, where you could have like 100. So here's my question for you. I always have stray cats in my neighborhood, really bad.
Yeah.
Because we live in the city, and so I have one indoor cat, and I don't let my cat outside. But currently, twice a year, I have litters of cats in my backyard. I do not feed the strays because I do not want to encourage them. I do not have the money to. I don't want to round them up because they're all feral, and the only place that would take them around here is they would euthanize them because they're completely unsocialized, completely feral animals. I don't have the money. I don't think there's a rescue that would like go in and like pick them up and spay and neuter them and then let them stay. Currently, this is the worst we've ever had it. I have a family of 7, a mom and 6 kittens in my backyard. And I don't know what to do because I don't want to feed them, encourage them. I hate seeing them out there in the terrible weather. I don't want to I don't want to get them euthanized. I don't know. It's like a moral dilemma, right? Like,
Yeah, it's like they're rescues. I mean, me and Lisa found a place outside of town that we've kept our cats at a number of times. And she has like 50 cats, something like that, give or take. And people are always coming to her. Can you take my cats? Can but she has a whole network of people. I can drop you their name, and maybe they know somebody in your area.
yeah, that would be cool because it really frustrates me. I mean, also the other thing that bothers me is I'm trying to encourage. I live in an urban, lower income neighborhood, and nobody has trees, and so I've been trying to encourage the songbirds back. And these cats are really good hunters. They're killing all the birds,
Yeah.
and and I can never get to the kittens when they're young enough to socialize or to try to, they're always, when I see them, they're half grown and completely spooked and scared of me, scared to death of me. So I can't tame them.
Right.
And I just, and like I said, I don't have the money. So like our city, I would have to rent traps from the city and trap them myself. And then I would get reimbursed for the traps or buy the traps myself. So I have no support in the city because they're more worried about the pit bull population.
Mm-hmm.
Than they are about stray cats. And it just doesn't, it goes on and on every year. And this is the worst. And like I said, it'll be 2 litters of kittens. And the polar vortex minus 45-degree wind chill we had did not take, they didn't hurt them. They all survived it, which was good. I was scared for them, but they all survived somehow. Probably because there were 7 of them. They all probably curled up underneath something and shared body heat in a dark crevice somewhere until they, but yeah, I don't, it's sad because I know that I've seen some of them in really bad shape too that could like live year after year with like busted tails and like just obviously been in fights and sick and I can't keep them out of my yard, because they're cats. They climb I've got privacy fence all around. They get under and over it. There's nothing I can do. And then they poop in my garden, like my food garden. They poop in my food garden.
Wow.
Like when I they think that my raised beds and stuff are like giant litter boxes, and I'm like, ugh, I'm not going to be moving that spinach now, because there's like who knows what kind of like parasites and stuff they have because they're fire, So it's a huge problem, and I need somebody to to give me advice. Is what I need. Yeah, I need advice. So.
Yeah, well, I'll get you in touch with her and see if she knows anybody and see if you can get you some help. Because I mean, it's pretty much like everybody's stretched to the limits everywhere. So
right. I mean, I can barely take care of my own cat and dog. I can't take care of 7 strays out in my yard, and I just got the cardinals to start coming into my yard, and every year the robins have started coming in and nesting, and a couple times the cats have gotten them, and it's like, oh
look, a pretty bird.
Yeah, I mean, and they don't always eat them, which always makes me mad too. I was like, gosh darn it, but because they really are such good hunters, the cats are.
Yeah.
So
well, we've been going a long time, and
you're tired.
It's officially midnight by me.
That's what
it is. It is for me too.
Yeah.
And I got work to do tomorrow, and I'll be streaming again tomorrow. If you see the notification pop up and you want to join, by all means.
I don't know if you'd want me to join again there.
Oh, come on. You're fun.
Especially if you have new people I can grill. If I see that you're on with some people I don't know anything about, that's it. It's all over. I'm going to join in and just take. No, if I see you again, I'll pop on. But it's time. This time of night, my dog has come up and she's like sitting here looking at me because she wants me to go downstairs and play Battlefront and give her a treat. She wants to sit with me while I play video games. So.
Right.
So yeah, and I think my husband went to bed without telling me, so I should probably go talk to him.
Probably.
Well, hey, Ronnie, it was nice to meet you. And
It was nice to meet you too. Thank you for asking me questions. I appreciate it.
yeah, get some more videos up on your YouTube and link it to a newsletter so I can have more to watch. Okay.
Not a problem.
All
If
right.
you ever go live, I'll come on your channel.
Oh, I go randomly live just during whenever, because like Peter says, and I sit here and stream for 2 hours while I work and I don't say anything, and so
That's funny.
I just feel like I'm online anyway. I might as well just throw the link live. And so, all right, you guys. Well, hey, it was fun. Thanks a lot, and happy arting.
It was fun.
So Karyn, where can people find you?
Oh, KarynLewis.com, KarynLewis.com, and I'm also here on the YouTube.
Cool. And Ronie?
You could find me at www.ronniegunter.com and Ronnie on YouTube and ronniegunter.art on Facebook and Instagram.
And where can people pick up your first comic book?
They could pick up my first comic book, The Sagas of Starsview, Issue 1, Journey to a New Home, on Amazon, iTunes, and Google Play.
Awesome.
And I did, so you all should too. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. We did it. We did it live.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Wait a minute, Peter. Where can people find you?
Right here.
Other than here. Where's your Instagram? What's your Insta?
I'm Peter Palmiotti. Peter Palmiotti across the web. Peter Palmiotti on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Anything else you can think of? Eventually,
Patreoning. Yeah.
On Patreon. Yeah.
All right.
Eventually, I'll have a website, but
there you go. Go follow him. Go follow us all. Thank you very much.
Yes. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye.
Bye.